I'm very excited about my first interview with Bello Nock, a very well-known entertainer, entrepreneur, and producer. So, let me tell you a bit about how it started. So, me and my brother were there as vendors with our brand Bianchi Brothers. I reached out to Bello, who was also there, and asked if we could do a short interview. So, he said yes, he agreed. So we did it right there. No lights, no microphones, very noisy, people crossing by. So I didn't want to let that opportunity pass by. So we did the interview, and I think it was pretty good. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.
Leonardo?
Yes. So what is your name?
My name is Bello Nock.
Bello Nock?
Yeah.
And you are an entrepreneur, right?
I am.
So may I ask, when did you know that you were going to be an entrepreneur?
So I have a very unique story. Both my parents were entrepreneurs. They were entertainers and entrepreneurs. 7 generations on my dad's side and 7 generations on my mom's side. So they never told me I had to follow in their footsteps. They just said I had to try it for 30 or 40 years. After that, I was free to make any decision or choice. I'm kidding. I'm kidding about being able, because what they were is daredevils. It means they walked high wires, they hung by trapeze, they were entertainers, and they risked their life. I found the passion of what they did by watching how much they enjoyed what they did. It wasn't so much the money they made, it was what they loved doing. So I followed what they did, but then I put a spin and a twist on it by being a daredevil and a comedian at the same time. Most people want to, if I'm a daredevil, they're like, hey, drum roll please, I want an announcement. And if you're a clown or a daredevil or a comedian, you sort of do silly things and you're not taken serious. I mix them together, and that's what made my success, but it was also my passion.
What is your business?
My business is I'm an entertainer, a producer, so I provide entertainment or I answer people's entertainment needs. So sometimes people say, we want to throw a party. Microsoft, we have 5,000 people in all of our companies and we want to do something big. Or 200 people, we want to do something. I'm like, well, one of them I said, all right, you have 200-300 people, you can do it at my house, and that's what today is. But I've also done 5,000 people for Microsoft. One of the times I said, how much money do you got? When date do you want to do it? You know what I did? I rented Epcot, like Disney World, and I threw the party from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m., 2 hours, 5,000 people, and I used their money to do it. And I put it on my resume. Or I rented out an entire 5 blocks of Las Vegas and had all of them fly there, and they were at it, but I used their money to do what they want to do. I just answered their needs.
Cool. So, what do you think was your hardest challenge in your career?
Ooh, that's a good one. Hardest challenge in my career. Sometimes it's an extra one. So, do you know that there's a couple of fears in life, okay? In the top 5 or top 10 fears in life, fear of heights, fear of failure, fear of being laughed at, or fear of being in front of a large audience. I make a living doing 3 of them at a time. Large audience, people laugh at me and I'm usually high in the air, but that came natural to me. I didn't know you should be afraid of them until someone told me. So sometimes someone will tell you, they'll give you advice and they'll tell you, well, you gotta watch out for this. You gotta be, so sometimes they say, fight or flight. You know what that is? If you're afraid of something, you'll like, okay, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna do it. Or they'll fight it out. Well, there's a different one, freeze. You make nothing happen. So they're like, I don't know what to do. Sometimes the fight or flight is a decision, it's movement. Does that make sense? If you freeze and do nothing, nothing happens. So I hope, sometimes my answers go there, but that's what worked for me, is realizing I'm gonna make a decision. I'm either gonna fight, not this, but fight to motivate, get up earlier, work harder. Nothing came natural to me. nothing in life. I have ADD. I'm dyslexic. When I see words, a lot of times I really have to focus because they float to me. So I had what some people would call learning disabilities, but I also had learning advantages. I'm illiterate in 7 languages, but I also dabble in 4 more languages, right? When I found something I love, I pursued it. If I found something I wasn't good at, you know what I did? I got up earlier, I worked harder, I worked at it when they weren't looking, so I could become better. How did I get my hair? I've worn my hair like this since I was 11 years old. Can you take off your hat so I can see it real quick? You have cool hats. So my hair was very much like you guys. And this is like a cool little story. My entire life, my mother was Italian, my dad was Swiss. Italians usually have olive skin, darker skin and black hair. I wanted to have olive skin and jet black hair my entire life. And I had this ready. It was forward like yours. I got a crew cut at a young age and I sunburned my head. And since then my hair grew straight out of my head. And I wanted to be one of these like cool guys of the 50s and the 80s, but it gave me something. God gave me a gift that made me stand out. So now I'm recognizable by my silhouette. I'm recognizable by people who go, hey, look at that, isn't that guy? And then they come ask questions. Does that make sense? So it wasn't what I wanted, but it was a gift that God gave me, and it benefited me my whole life. So how do I do this? I really don't know. It's been like this my entire life, but it's worked really cool. Now you can put your hats on because you guys have some really cool hats.
What advice would you give to young entrepreneurs like us?
Never let someone else's no or negative stop you from what you're doing. You know, you really can't do that. You don't make it. And this guy over here makes more money, or he does stuff. Doing what you love is one of the greatest things. And then the most important, if I told you the greatest bit of advice, greatest bit of advice, how old are you?
9.
9. How old are you?
7.
Okay. Are you the only 2 brothers you have? Okay. You guys have something that no one else can have. Meaning, you guys have each other as brothers. You guys work at it every day, so you guys make sure you never have a wedge or a problem between you brothers. Does that make sense? Because you can get another friend, but that's only a friend that can come and go. A family member or a brother is something nobody can ever take it away from you and never let it. Does that make sense? So remain the friends that you guys are now for the rest of your life, and you guys will really go far, because you will never be able to trust anybody more than you can trust your brother, and you can never trust anybody more than you can trust your brother.
So thank you very much.
Thank
for
you
your
guys.
time.
Thank you
Nice
so
to
much.
meet
You
you.
guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow.
Here are a few highlights that me and my brother learned from this interview with Bello. 1. Bello overcomes his fears. 2. Find your passion, do what you love. 3. Never let anyone stop you from pursuing your dreams. 4. Family first. That's why we're the Bianchi brothers. And we tried to make our hair look like Bello's. You like it? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Bye! Real quick, the sponsor for this video is someone very special. Us, of course! Founders of Bianchi Brothers. And if you want to support our mission, we would appreciate it if you could follow our Instagram channel and visit our website. Bye!